Hello, welcome to Ecoholics. Have you ever wondered, the Indian government has done so much to reduce poverty in the country, but still we see a very high poverty rate in the country. So why does poverty still exist? Now we are going to look into this issue and also find some solutions that we can incorporate in the Indian economy. Firstly, why the poverty has not been eliminated in the country. The first reason is that the sheer magnitude of the poor in the country is very high. Also, the intensity of this poverty varies, and in most cases it is very severe. The difference between magnitude and intensity is that magnitude is the number of poor and intensity is how bad a deprivation is for a poor. So here in intensity, we also include not just poverty in terms of calorie, but also poverty in terms of education, in terms of access to basic resources and most freedoms that any individual must enjoy. Also, in India, we've seen a very low elasticity of poverty reduction with per capita income growth. This means that our per capita income growth, which is very high, is still not leading to any major reduction in poverty rates. Also, in India, we've seen a lot of population transitioning in and out of poverty. What does this mean? It means that if we have a below poverty line or a simple poverty line, the moment a person's income increases so as to overcome this poverty line, he becomes a person who is above poverty, but due to even a minute expenditure, or we can say expenditures, for example, in health, wherein out-of-pocket expenditures are very big in the country, we see most population coming back to below the poverty line. So here we see most population going above this line and immediately or within a very short period of time coming back below to the poverty level. So here we also have the reason that the fruits of growth and development, they have not been distributed throughout the country and to all the public as such. We've seen that lately India has been a services-led growth, and this growth rate has been exceptional and phenomenal, but the rewards have gone to very few people. Therefore, post liberalization, we've seen a high rise in the inequalities rate. Also, we've seen large number of poverty alleviation programs. Whenever we have a huge number of any such program, the implementation becomes difficult. Also, the government has been lacking in its approach when it comes to maybe taking over a given family or an individual and ensuring that all these policies converge so that a given household remains out of poverty throughout, rather than having an ad hoc policy which is going for only the short-term benefits of some reduction in poverty. It has also been seen that in India, there has been chronic poverty. Chronic poverty means that the entire family or generations of a family have been poor. The Indian government has not been able to effectively tackle this chronic poverty. We have not used the very understanding that we can specifically aim a given occupation. For example, we have agricultural laborers. This segment of the population has always been chronically poor. If well targeted, this entire segment can be uplifted. So a lack of understanding on chronic poverty and dynamics of poverty have not been effectively utilized by the policymakers. At the same time, we've seen a lack of participation by the target population. It has been seen that whenever the target population, for example, the population which the government is aiming for example, in the PDS, the given women in the household, in case these target populations come together and effectively go ahead with social auditing or social accountability, these policy measures can be much better in terms of utilization and resource allocation. We've also seen that with globalization, poverty has become more complicated. Globalization has created new forms of risk for the economy. Recently, we've seen that COVID has led to a great shutdown across the world. The poor have been the worst impacted. And again, this is just an example of how a globalized economy can lead to greater risks, not only for the richer class, but even more and even graver risks for the poor. Lastly, though we have seen a lot of improvement in the absolute poverty rates, we've neglected a lot of other dimensions of poverty. Multi-dimensions, for example, deprivations of micronutrient deficiencies have been neglected. We are calling this as hidden poverty or hidden hunger. This has been ignored by the governments in most of their estimations. We've seen a lot of public, specifically women and children, who've been suffering from anemia and other deficiencies, which is just a point in case to elaborate the same problem. Now, what can be the solution to this problem? A prominent economist, Professor Jagdish Bhagwati, has said that India can go ahead with growth. He says that we should have a two-track approach to growth. Accordingly, we should be focusing towards growth. This growth will allow individuals to have better income and better access to resources, but also due to this growth, the government's revenue will increase, and the government can use this increased revenue for better allocation of resources or redistribution amongst the most poor. At the same time, Amartya Sen, John Race, and Deaton have contradicted Mr. Jagdish Bhagwati and said that yes, we can have growth, but we cannot postpone any support that the government can give to the poor immediately. So, as a solution, it is important to combine both the approaches together. We should have growth as well as effective redistribution of growth. And as these people have said, we cannot postpone redistribution. Poverty alleviation programs should now aim to bring back people to the mainstream, and it should be realized that these poverty alleviation schemes are not permanent. They only have a specific target, and the moment the target is met, the policies should effectively change or curb altogether. This has been stated by Mr. Raghuram Rajan. We also have the minimum income guarantee scheme. This aims at empowering people by directly giving money to the public and allowing them to make their own choices. These choices are considered as part of basic human rights for development. Now, we also have to improve efforts at the micro level when it comes to social auditing and mobilization of the public, specifically for better resource allocation and policy supervision. The rural financial sector still has a lot lacking. The poor are effectively removed from this sector, though a lot of policies have been incorporated, but the credit worthiness of the poor is still very less, and when it comes to taking loans or getting effective support from the formal sources of finance, this sector is falling behind. We also require upskilling, reskilling, and learning new skills for the public. In India, we see a major problem of even the graduates not finding jobs. The problem is the lack of jobs requirement meeting what is taught at universities. So there is a skill development lack which is there with respect to industry needs and the skills held by the public. We also require provision of health, education, and public services so that the out-of-pocket expenditures for the poor reduce. Agricultural growth and non-farm employment can effectively help a large chunk of our population to come out of poverty, as still we see a larger population working in agriculture and also in the rural areas in non-farm employment. To know more about topics of Indian economy and other aspects of economics, you can look more at our channel Ecoholics. So do like, share and subscribe to Ecoholics. Thank you.